Happy New Year and welcome to the Tinley Chamber Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Garrett Gray, and it's hard to believe that January 2019 is already here. But you know, as they say, time flies when you're having fun. And we have a fun show in store for you tonight. We have three guests who are members of the Tinley Chamber of Commerce who are here to talk about how their products and services can help benefit you. So let's begin with the fun with our first guest. He's the president of Landmark Flooring. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Nick Cinquepalmi. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. So, Nick, tell us a little bit about your journey with flooring. When did it start? And we'll begin there.
Okay. Well, generally, I started this flooring. I started getting involved in flooring about 30 years ago. I'm a career firefighter in the local area. I've been on the job about 30 years. And somewhere about in my early 20s, I got involved in flooring a little bit as far as the cleaning side was. I was energetic. I was young. I got one of those vans and started a little bit of a cleaning business, and realized once I started doing that I was starting to aspire to get into the retail side of it. So I had a few mentors and a few people that were involved in the business prior to me getting involved, and I started working basically out of my trunk and out of my car.
Wow.
For quite some time, up until right up till about the mid 2000s. So right about 2005, 2006, I started getting serious and looking for a place to go.
Okay. And now I understand that you started your business, Landmark Flooring, at a very challenging time. Will you tell the viewers what time that was?
I did. So I was a local businessman in town who owned a number of properties in the Orland Park and Tinley Park area, approached me and asked me would I be interested in opening a store. And this was in 2008 during the worst crisis ever. I was scared to death, and he gave me an opportunity, and I thought about it for a couple of months, and I kept staring at that space, and I said, you know what? You only live once. I'm going to try it, and I did it. So I went into that space in 2008, and it was the scariest time ever.
Now, yeah, it's during the heart of the recession.
It was crazy.
So you're a little bit of a riverboat gambler, I guess, but it panned out.
It did.
Now, how did you market your company, Landmark Flooring, during this recession?
Great question. I was fortunate enough to be, as soon as I opened the doors, that's the time social media really started taking off. And I was, the bell went off for me, and I was able to apply the company to the social media as far as Facebook was starting to take off. And I thought, well, if I started to market a little bit with that, perhaps it'll help me grow my business. And I was very fortunate. I beat a lot of my competitors to that platform, and we took off.
Wow.
And from 2008, we never looked back.
Excellent. Now, what are some of the flooring options you offer your customers?
Excellent question. So in the flooring world, we basically we offer carpet, tile, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl plank, repairs, floor refinishing, a number of those type markets.
And what is one of the biggest sellers right now?
Okay, so in the last number of years, luxury vinyl plank, and I brought a little sample with me.
Oh, excellent. Let's see
but
it.
I'll show you the sample real quick. But this is the hottest product in the market in the last number of years. This is basically a waterproof, pet-proof type of product. And most people that experience water issues in their home, whether it be their basement, have a sump pump that goes bad, or they have pets that continually have a problem, this is the answer. They are a waterproof type floor. They're scratch proof. They're life proof. They're a wonderful product. They're basically made in a PVC core with a vinyl coating on it.
Yeah.
But really, stop by the store and take a look. I have probably about 100 different samples and qualities. This is the trend of the future. This is the trend.
Well, so completely water. So if your basement floods, you're not going to have mold.
No.
It's going to be totally resistant. What do you put underneath the flooring?
A lot of these will have a rubber back or a cork back, but generally nothing. You don't need it. You don't need an underlayment with this type of floor.
Okay, excellent. Well, that does seem like the way.
It really is.
So especially with pet owners too.
Yes.
You stay at work late. The dog doesn't get walked. So yeah,
the accidents. These are they're worry-free floors.
Or even the kid spills the drink. You got no problem.
Correct.
Excellent. That sounds like a really great product. So, Nick, tell us a little bit about your ideal clients and customers. Who do you typically have as a client? And
well, locally in the region here, generally the bulk of my customers are residential customers. We do a lot of commercial work, but generally our meat and potatoes are residential customers here in Tinley and Orland and the whole Southland area. If you look at the demographics of the community and the type of construction that's in this town, Tinley Park alone has over 40,000 units under roof.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, predominantly it's a residential community. So that's really the bulk of our customers are basically residential homes, but certainly we take on a lot of commercial work as well.
Excellent. And the good thing about residential homes is somebody sees that LVP here,
Yes.
or a great carpet, and they say, where did you get that work?
Correct.
And so word of mouth is some of the best advertising you can get.
Absolutely incredible. And it's funny because, living in the area, I live in the local area, and I've been in business now over 10 years here in the same location. So a lot of people do know the brand. A lot of people do know me. And it is kind of neat to maybe be at a local event or a party and hear somebody talk about my company when they don't know that I actually own it. And it's funny. But the brand is there, and we work. I have a lot of employees that work for me now.
How many employees do you have?
We have about 30 individuals that
Wow.
work with our company.
Excellent.
There's probably 3 or 4 sales staff in the store at any given time. But generally, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you think flooring is not boring. Flooring actually is fun. You have to have the niche to appreciate all the dynamics of what that industry is.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, how long does it take to get your flooring installed? Like, what's the timetable
Sure.
from somebody walking into your Landmark flooring and looking at the samples, ordering something, and then finally you guys leaving after it's installed?
Great question. So I do it in two points, two fronts. Basically, I have a warehouse locally here that I stock with a number of products that I can get to my clients within 24 hours. Generally, we can turn a house in carpet within about 24 to 48 hours from what I hold in stock. Now, custom orders or higher end type products that we bring from the mills, which generally come out of Georgia.
Yeah.
They'll freight up to the warehouse here. I probably will see them in the Tinley Park region within 4 or 5 working days. So our customer, from the time they walk in my store to the time they're done on a custom order, within about a week.
Wow, that's pretty fast. So, I mean,
Yes.
I guess there's a mad rush before the holidays,
Always
right?
is.
Everybody wants that house looking spick and span for the big Christmas and New Year's Eve parties.
Yeah, this last holiday season, we had over the last year, certainly there's a mad rush, and we try to accommodate the best we can, but I will not sacrifice quality.
Excellent.
So that's how it goes. I tell our customers, we'll fit you in the best we can, but I will not rush your job.
Excellent. And I mean, you mentioned the employees are up to 30. Does everybody have like a different expertise?
Yes. So, I have expert installers that install carpet. I have expert installers that install LVP. My refinishers are a little bit different than my carpet guys. So, yeah, everybody has a niche.
Yeah.
And again, good help is hard to find. I work very hard at retaining my staff.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
Then. That's a good sign of a healthy company
It is.
as well.
Yes.
Now, what about financing? Because, I mean, I
Yes.
know people can get enamored and with getting the latest and greatest, but it's always going to cost money. So what type of financing packages do you have for clients?
So we brought financing into the company probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and we primarily use Synchrony Bank. And so if you're on my website, if you find my company or on my website, there's a tab privately. You can go ahead and apply for credit via our website. You can walk into our store, talk to one of our girls. We'll run you right there. And Synchrony Bank generally handles the multiple types of stores in our community. But I offer 0% financing from 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, up to 24. Various promotions, they come and go all the time, but if you follow me a little bit, you'll see that I post a lot of different promotions monthly.
Okay, yeah, on Facebook you can follow Landmark Flooring, and if you want to find more about Landmark Flooring, you can call the Tinley Chamber of Commerce at 708-532-5700 or check our website, tinleychamber.org. Now, what type of promotions do you have coming up for January or later months?
So to kick off the new year, a lot of times I will work on products that I have in stock. So you'll see me a lot of times on social media. I'm promoting whole house specials for carpet pad and install at as little as $1.99 a square foot.
Wow.
With 0% financing, which in the region is an incredible deal. Anybody that has been shopping for flooring, and the tickets that these things cost these days, that's a great deal. I run a ton of that regularly, and I stock heavy for it. So that's one of our neat little promos for this year that we're going to run, and also LVP. I have a lot of great financing options on LVP because I believe strongly in this product. It's been wonderful for us, and I don't think there's anybody you'll talk to that does not like this particular LVP.
Excellent. I think that's the wave of the future.
It is.
Probably look at some of that myself after this interview.
Sure.
But speaking of which, we just have a fleeting moment here. Can
Yeah.
you tell the viewers why Landmark Flooring?
Perfect. Why Landmark Flooring? Well, we're a family business, and that's what's really neat about us in this community is that when you're purchasing from us, you're buying from a family locally owned business, and there is no difference whether it's a box store or anything. The same reps that go to the box stores and service them service me too. So I have great deals. Just because I'm a family business doesn't mean my prices are higher. As a matter of fact, I can beat most local stores hands down. So we have a great relationship, and I'll be happy to help you.
Okay. Well, Nick, our time is up. Thank you for your time on the show here.
Thank you.
And much success with
Thank you.
Landmark Flooring. My next guest is the Senior Energy Advisor for the Goldstar Energy Group. Please welcome to the show Mr. Lee Stanwich. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Thanks, Garrett.
So tell us a little bit about what Goldstar Energy Group is and how long has it been around?
Goldstar Energy Group is actually part of the Joseph Gingoli family of companies. They're based out of New Jersey.
Okay.
They've been around 105 years, highly integrated energy company. Does
Wow.
everything from energy supply to actually building generation facilities.
Wow, 105 years. I mean, most companies don't last that type of generational time gap, but excellent. So tell us about what Goldstar Energy Group does.
Goldstar Energy Group is a energy consultant. It provides different products and services to companies to help them save money on their energy. Everything from alternate supply to LED retrofits, HVAC upgrades, refrigeration upgrades. We just assess their needs and advise them on the best course of action.
Yeah, and you know, LED is great. We just had a retrofit in our own company, and the lighting change from the halogen to the LED was phenomenal.
Yeah, not only does it use anywhere from 70 to 85% less electricity, it provides a better lighting quality, which improves the mood. And some studies say it even improves employee productivity because of the improved quality of light.
I believe it because honestly, that halogen after 8 hours in office can get kind of depressing, and now it feels like you're outside. So, so you're saving energy and you're saving peace of mind a little bit. That's pretty good.
Yep.
So how did you get involved with Goldstar Energy Group?
I've been in the energy industry for about 8 years, and Goldstar was looking to expand their East Coast presence to the Midwest. So about a year and a half ago, I joined the group and started to establish some roots here in the Midwest and expand the company that way.
Okay. Now, for Goldstar Energy Group, what's the ideal clientele? Who are the customers you guys look to go to?
Fortunately, everybody uses energy.
That's true.
So we're probably best set to serve the mid-sized client to the mid-sized larger, but we don't ignore smaller customers as well.
Okay. So, but mostly like mid-sized, large companies, so they're looking to save money on their energy costs.
Exactly, and you know that savings can come through different buying programs to buy their energy smarter or the retrofits we've discussed.
Okay, excellent. And what's the process? So somebody calls your office, and what's the next step?
Basically, what we like to do is we like to go out to the facility, take a look around, assess what they have now, as well as take a look at their current energy bills, not only their electricity, but their natural gas. And we like to provide a complete strategy for them. Look at what they're paying, how they're paying it, and then how we can actually reduce the amount of energy they use through the retrofits and utilizing the ComEd incentives.
Excellent. So how long do those assessments typically take?
It's surprising how fast they go through.
Really?
I had a auditor go through a 100,000 square foot facility in just about 3 hours.
Oh my God. How long did it take for him to look at the bills?
Well, I looked at the bills, and the bills don't even take as long most of the time, unless it's a complicated type program they're on.
Okay, excellent. So it's a thorough investigation, and you get to see right there at the point of contact what can be upgraded, and then putting it towards those bills and getting an idea. You can quantify those savings right off the bat.
We can give them an idea, but what we do is we take it back to our office. All the numbers are run on the LED savings, and as well as we custom price our clients to see where we can find them the most favorable terms. Yeah.
And what are some of the most common areas that people can save right away?
In a lot of cases, you can customers can save right away if they're not in a good supply agreement, or through the LED retrofits. I've seen. I had a customer that saved almost $200,000 by retrofitting LED throughout the company.
Wow, 200, is that like yearly or just lumps? What is it?
$200,000 yearly on their energy bill. Granted, they were paying about $1.2 million, but
Yeah, well,
200,000.
yeah, but, either way, that's pretty good savings
Right.
over time. 5 years, you got your million back. So, and when is it smart to make the change? When do companies typically reach out to you guys?
Everybody's on a different cycle for their agreements. So a lot of times they reach out too close to the end of their agreement.
Oh.
And what we like to advise is you should reach out to us about 6 months before your agreement expires, because it gives us time to find the most favorable terms for you. If you do it last minute, you're over a barrel. But as far as time of the year, it just depends on when the agreement comes up.
Okay, excellent. And now the equipment that is used to retrofit or to upgrade a facility, what's the financing for that? Is it easier to lease, to loan, to buy outright?
That's a good question. A lot of times what we have to do is we have to work with the CFO of the company, and we propose a lease option with a $1 buyout for the equipment, or sometimes they pay for it up front or even finance it on a traditional term loan. It depends on what they want to do. Mm-hmm. There are tax advantages sometimes to doing the $1 lease buyout, where other times it makes sense just to pay for it in cash.
Okay, so it's a case by case,
and that's part of our holistic approach to talking to the customers, giving them all their options, explaining to them pros and cons, and providing good sound advice.
So it's not a one size fits all. It's you custom it to the customer and their needs.
Exactly, and that's what that's what Goldstar's energy advisors are trained to do.
Excellent. Now, why would somebody want to use Goldstar Energy Group over some alternate forms of energy, say wind or solar?
Well, we offer solar, but Goldstar Energy, right now, there's the greatest return on investment for LED retrofits. Solar in the Midwest, the technology's not quite there. But as far as using Goldstar Energy, it's our consultative approach, where we want to make sure that we treat every customer like their family, and we want to make sure that they understand what they're getting into and what their options are, and we're trained better than most energy advisors are.
Okay, excellent. And off camera, you had mentioned, and I'm probably going to butcher the quote, that you can't store energy in a jar.
And that goes to the solar, and the reason sometimes people don't understand the use how energy is used and stored. You can't store energy, so it's important to learn how to use it effectively as a business, because everybody uses energy between 4 and 6 p.m. and energy prices spike during that time. So it's not only picking the right products and services, but it's educating customers on how to more effectively, what we call, manage their load or manage their usage. And that's one of our services as well.
Excellent. Well, Lee, our time is fleeting, so if you want to tell the audience why they should look into Goldstar Energy Group.
Look into Goldstar. It doesn't cost anything for us to take a look at your current energy strategy. And if nothing else, we're giving you a second look at what you're doing. And if you give us the chance, we're gonna show you a savings in some way, or we're gonna give you a strategy that's gonna help you understand what you have better.
Excellent, Lee. And if you want to find out more about Goldstar Energy Group, please contact the Chamber at 708-532-5700 or go to our website at tinleychamber.org. Lee, thank you for your time and best of success.
Thanks, Garrett.
My final guest is with Education and Outreach for Greenhouse Dispensaries. Please welcome to the show Mr. Rick Niksic. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you, Garrett. It's nice to be here.
It's good to have you here. So tell us a little bit about Greenhouse and what type of work they do.
Well, Greenhouse is a licensed medical cannabis dispensary. We have 4 locations here in Illinois: Deerfield, Mokina, our closest one here, Morris, and Litchfield down south. We also have a cultivation center in Litchfield. We also have locations soon to be in Ohio. We've got them in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and have just gotten licenses in Michigan, so we're growing quickly.
Pretty national.
It is. It's becoming huge.
Wow. So how did you get involved?
I got involved by accident. I had been in the senior care industry for several years. I had retired and came across a friend of mine that I'd known from that business that was doing educational programs for medical cannabis, which surprised me. So I contacted her. We got together and talked a few different times. I started learning more about the business, and I was working 2 days a week at a golf course. And she pretty much told me that she needed help and I needed something to do. And I had done speaking before, education and outreach for another business. So,
wow. So it's kind of like a good stroke of chance or luck.
Yeah, I just happened to pick up a local paper and saw an article about her doing a presentation at a senior center.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now how does one qualify for medical cannabis?
Okay, to qualify for it, the state of Illinois, and they've done a pretty good job with this program actually, but through the state of Illinois, you have to go to your doctor and have him verify a condition. There's 41 conditions that the state of Illinois has approved. And the doctor, all he's doing is verifying a diagnosis. And once you get that, then you fill out the paperwork for the qualifying patient. If the qualifying patient is older, housebound, you can get a certified guardian that also gets licensed that can pick up the products and everything else. That goes to the state, gets processed. It's taking a little bit longer than it should right now. But once that gets processed, you get a card. You come to a dispensary, ours or one of the others in the area, and you work with one of our counselors to find out exactly what your needs are and how to start out with the dosing procedure.
Okay. And I'm sure they do background checks too, as well. You were mentioning about the doctors. The doctors can't prescribe, but they can verify conditions.
They don't prescribe. All they're doing is verifying the diagnosis.
Sure.
One of the 41 conditions that the state has approved. So that's the doctor's part in it. And then once they get their card, they work with the counselor to find out. There used to be, we're talking about background checks, it used to be up until a few months ago, you had to have a fingerprint background check to be done.
Wow.
You don't have to do that anymore. And we're hoping that that'll speed up the process.
Excellent. And you mentioned 41 conditions, but are they growing? Are they expanding?
Unfortunately, no. There was with all the good things Illinois did with this program, because of just politics and the way the process is run, there's a board that's supposed to, a medical board that's supposed to meet regularly and to see if they need to add to those conditions or not. The two most recent additions are terminal illness and PTSD.
Oh.
But there have not been any added
okay.
for quite some time.
What are some of the positive medical effects from the medical cannabis, and what are some of your favorite success stories?
The main thing is that it's a great alternative to the addictive opioid medications out there. Cannabis has been used for medicine for 3,000 years, and the reason it was made illegal, again, it got into politics and things, but it's a safe, non-addictive medicine, and again, an alternative to the opioid-based painkillers. We'll talk about, there's a new law that's just come into effect with that. But you asked about some of my my absolute favorite patient was this 82-year-old lady with rheumatoid arthritis. She came to one of our educational programs with her daughter, and poor thing, hands were just, she was in terrible shape and terrible pain, taking 6 pain pills a day. And she got her cannabis card, and she's sharp as a tack, just a sweetheart. And she got her card. I saw her about 6 months after she had gotten her card, and wanted to make sure that I remembered who she was, so she came up and was talking to me in the dispensary with her daughter. And she uses a patch. It's got no psychoactive effects. It goes into your system. It's a transdermal patch, like a fentanyl patch without all the bad side effects. And she's off all of her painkillers now and doing just great.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah.
It's excellent when you can see that there's a positive effect on people's lives.
Oh, and on every age too. We have children that are using it for seizures and things. Another great story is this young man. He's in a wheelchair. He's paralyzed from the waist down in a horrendous car accident, and had been addicted to opioid-based painkillers. His mom told me every 4 or 5 weeks trip to the emergency room because of the violent vomiting and things. And his doctor recommended that he try to get off the opioids and use cannabis. He's been a patient now for a little over a year. He uses no painkillers. He treats all of his pain and his issues with cannabis. He's back on the computer. He's back taking classes. He's driving again. They bought him a van. Just saw him today, as a matter of fact. He's got his van that he wheels himself into, and he's gotten independent again.
Wow, excellent. I mean, it seems like there's a real effect for people in pain. This can absolutely help them overcome the pain.
Absolutely.
So what type of products do you guys offer? I think we talked off camera. It's a misconception you're smoking it.
A lot of people say, well, I could never smoke it. Well, you don't have to smoke it. You can. I mean, we have over 200 products in our dispensary. And we have leaf, and it's very surreal to me, somebody my age who, got some recreational background back in college with this, but to see pre-rolled joints for sale for medicine. Then we have edibles, candies, honey, infused honey, infused tea, all kinds of products that are, candies that you can eat, and they all have different effects and different, and many of them do not have that psychoactive effect if you're not looking to get that.
And I know you educate people, so that's one of the misconceptions.
Sure.
Yeah, and so now you were telling me off camera that you also give seminars and education workshops.
Yeah, I'll speak to anybody. We speak to groups, public groups. We speak to residents at nursing homes and assisted living, senior groups, veterans groups, a lot of veterans groups dealing with a lot of veterans with PTSD of all ages. And we also do continuing education. We've gotten licensed to do continuing education programs for nurses, social workers, doctors, pharmacists, anybody, pretty much anybody in the healthcare field. So we do a lot of those.
Excellent. How much does it cost for one to get their cannabis card?
For a 1-year card, it's $100, and 2 years, $200, $250 for 3 years. If you're a veteran or if you're on Social Security disability, it's half that.
Okay. And now Greenhouse will help if they come in or they call you guys, will help with the application process?
Absolutely. We have every month, second Thursday of every month here in Mokina, and at every one of our locations, we have an educational program where we do about a 30-minute presentation on the law and the products and why it works in our bodies, get into the chemistry a little bit, and then how to apply for it. And then we help them with the paperwork. Some of them already have gone to their doctor and gotten that paperwork done. We'll help them make sure that their package is all together. They have to get a photograph taken. There's a few things that have to go in with their application. We help them with that and get it sent off.
Excellent, Rick. Now we have just a few seconds left. If you could tell our audience why Greenhouse.
Greenhouse is one of the leading dispensaries in not only in the state, but we've become that way in the country now. And I think the main thing that I hear most about is the counselors that work with the patients are just really caring, patient, knowledgeable. They really take care of people when they come in, and we really try to keep that atmosphere.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on our show today, Rick. Much success to Greenhouse. And if you're looking for any information on all the companies here today, you can call the chamber at their number 708-532-5700 or check their website, tinleychamber.org. Well, that's our show for this month. Thanks to all our guests for being on the show, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.